This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert, especially not hidden right next to an oasis. Oh, Paimon's scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is...
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't...
Me too. Hope I haven't done anything. Alright, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended?
They can't have been at the oasis by chance. They were waiting.
So this is the Temple of Silence, after leaving the rainforest.
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Don't worry. Someone will come and call.
What's your name?
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but.
So we're free to explore.
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood.
He's right.
Hey, Sethos!
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get... Yes, that was me. Although, Trick did... He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it...
So you framed Cyrus for...
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice.
Why did Cyrus leave for the...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. And it was his own... What kind of question is that? He's...
Right, but back at the oasis, you can't have known who he was.
I've lived in the desert my whole life.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this?
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you... Yes, that was... He insisted...
So you framed...
No. That's not entire... Of course.
Why did Cyrus...
You'll have to ask him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. Nope.
Really?
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of the spies. It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Any...
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess.
We should be wary of our hosts.
Here he is. Grandfather, the person you wish to see is...
Well done, Sethos. Greetings, one and all. I am
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. Cyrus owes me his life. And to the Temple of Silence, he owes...
I wanted to end my feud with this old bag. Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us two.
So that's why you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come...
Some things in life catch up with you. No ma-
Cyno didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did.
My secrets are secret for good reason.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to... You recognized our emblem because for many years, you knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, but then you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really...
Hermanubis' might?
Does he mean you?
Professor.
The moon is right. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned... it was a great, daring plan. The moon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies. Many believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parent...
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony and instructed to approach the Ba fragment. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment. Resonance, implant. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully to preserve our faith and our power.
Ultimately, I ended the...
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down... I have always wanted to see you, Cyno.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your bar fragment for a decade or so. But you cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is...
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You and he, Sethos. You were our final hope.
You'd like me to return...
As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now,
That power is not yours.
You are wrong. Cyno was chosen, but he was not...
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent...
So what you're saying is, the power of 1 Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking...
Divine power causes great suffering to...
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this...
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are...
Don't listen to him, Cyno.
I know. But if this is a question of your...
Sorry to interrupt, but in my view, there are a number of contentions here. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release... You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining...
Wait. Those ears. So... Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
Why is he coughing so much?
Pamoon, you...
Take our leader back to his room. grandfather. I don't like to drag out conversations. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago? The plan would... Still, it's no use. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand... But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stat, so I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave.
You have I truly wish that the temple would take an objective and things will only continue to improve.
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be...
Tainari made a good point earlier. All you and Ba Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept what ultimately... You want to trade the Ba fragment for...
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious...
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from...
That works. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few...
Are you sure about negotiating with...
I need to think this through. Everyone...
Alright, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, he's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels...
I agree. My master Nephis says...
So that... You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. My own memories of this place are hazy, though. Probably something to do with the... I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my... I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith.
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you?
No. I have no intention of returning it. I need this power to protect so I will challenge them head on. And
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Silence... Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of... I think we could turn that to our advantage.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned...
looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can. In terms that...
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos.
Sethos, let's talk.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have
no objections, although we do have our own
only one...
Follow me. Keep your voices down.
let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and he appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth. Regretfully, I must inform you that
Yeah.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. So tell me how we can end this on your terms.
Yeah, there's no time to waste.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did.
You're right. We both look. I accept, Cyno. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's That group of supporters were some of the first members of the temple.
Sounds very fitting.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run
3 against 3.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of...
None needed. We're on... If I win, the Temple of Silence, if you win.
It's a deal. Then let's...
Well, after how that went,
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option.
You have to win. You need this.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you.
Both as... Yeah. When you put it that way.
Exactly.
The Traveler and I will never...
And neither shall I. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that for a variety of reasons. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. Tomorrow.